In this video, I'll be letting you guys know what I think about the Ready Player 2 event and what could have been improved, so let me know what you think about the Ready Player 2 event in the comments. But let's start with the start of the Ready Player 2 event. So, first, whenever it started, it was kinda a surprise, like, no one really knew when it was going to start and stuff, and then all of a sudden, people started getting Ready Player 2 items, and the first item was found in Bee Swarm Simulator, even though Piggy's came out first, because the one in Piggy involved knocking on the door and stuff, and it was a bit complicated, and the Bee Swarm Simulator one was really obvious, because there was literally a headset inside of the shop that was obviously for Ready Player 2, and then there was also a screen. So whenever that came out, people found it quickly, then the Piggy one was found, and then items were released like every day or every other day for this, and then the last 3 or 4 items were released all at once and found very quickly. So like they didn't release all of the items, they just had one every now and then. So I think for the item release times, they should have maybe just made it harder to get it, but like released them all at the beginning, and maybe the first game could give a clue to which one the second one is in after you get the item there, and the items can progress into how good they look, because, well, the Ready Player 2 account said this one might be bigger than the Ready Player 1 event, but, to me, it felt like an egg hunt that was hard. The Ready Player 1 event had a Dominus as the prize, so I guess that made it feel really big, but there were only 3 games in that. This one had 7 games. The tasks were easier than the Ready Player 1 event. The Ready Player 1 event was like super hard though. It was good, but very hard to do. So I think that the Ready Player 2 event was definitely way better than the Ready Player 1 event. I don't know exactly if it was bigger. Well, I mean, the items you got from the Ready Player 1 event were just crowns. They were all basically the same, but different colors. And then in this one, you actually got a whole bunch of different early cool looking items. Yeah, the Ready Player 2 event definitely did way better on items, in my opinion. Well, except because the last one had a Dominus. But this one, 77 people were able to get the top item, which I think was definitely very good. The way they did where people could get the items and stuff was super good in the Ready Player 2 event. But the Bee Swarm Simulator relic was probably one of the easiest ones to get. They just made it pretty confusing. And by the way, when I said earlier they should make this stuff harder, I don't mean they should make it, like, harder to get. I think they should actually make them all probably easier to get, but just harder to find and more confusing. So like if you know what to do, you can get it easily. To find out what to do, it's very hard to do. So like they could have released all the items at once, but it would take a while for people to find out what you would have to do to get the items. But yeah, that's just an idea I had. It would be good either way though. That's just kind of a suggestion. But Bee Swarm Simulator definitely had the easiest one, or one of the easiest ones. Then in Piggy, they did that one pretty good also. It was kind of easy if you had a decent team that could help you go through the stuff and do things. And then Roblox in high school. Now this one was actually very simple, but very hard. Like, they made the obby way too hard, in my opinion. I also ended up spending hundreds of Robux to get a glider, and then I just found out that you weren't able to use the glider on the obby. It didn't say anywhere until after I bought it that I can't use it, so that was kind of a bro moment. But, and then in Bad Business, that one was also a very good one. It was difficult, but it was also kind of easy. That one also kind of had like a Robux influence in it, because if you joined a public server, people would actually be fighting and playing the game, but if you spent Robux to get a private server, then you could just do that in the private server and it'd be really easy, because you could be the only one there or have your friends in it and just not fight, so you'd basically be able to stay on that map for as long as you want to. So it's definitely way easier there to have a VIP server, so maybe VIP servers should have been free for that. And then in Vehicle Simulator, that was also pretty easy. You just had to do some simple things, then find pieces, which took a while, but it was still pretty easy and fun to do, because they weren't, like, completely hidden. You had a radar detector thing that let you know when you were close to one, so that was good. And then Dungeon Quest, the way you got to the boss was a bit complicated, but it was either glitched or just way too hard to fight the boss in the very beginning, but then they nerfed it or fixed it or something, and then it became very easy. But then there's also a little difficult obby you had to do to actually get the stuff there, because you had to do that to go to the boss. But overall, all of the games were good, and you didn't really have to spend Robux in any of them to get the stuff. But at the end, that was like really good though, how you just had to join here, stand on this, all of the gems would light up, and then it would do a cutscene, then you'd get the item. That was really good. You didn't have to do any boss battles, you didn't have to like do an obby to get to the end of it. You just had to go over there once you got everything, and then you would get the prize. So that was really easy to do though, because compared to the RB Battles event, like you have to do something huge in the RB Battles event, even if you already got everything. Well, they nerfed it now, so that's good. I'm gonna make another video about RB Battles later and say what I thought about it. But overall, this event was very good, and I'm hoping that maybe they do a Ready Player 3 sometime. I have a theory about the Ready Player 2 event that most likely, probably 99%, isn't going to happen, but if it does, that would be pretty epic. So what if there's actually a second wave of items, like in a few days, we just think it's gonna end, but then instead of ending, there is more stuff, and then more games, and it's even more hidden, and then there's a new prize, or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool, but again, I definitely think that's not going to happen. But I guess that's everything about the Ready Player 2 event that I wanted to mention, so make sure to subscribe with the notifications on, like the video, join the Discord server linked in the description, follow my Twitter at Telanthric, use star code Telanthric to support my channel. And by the way, if you still need some stuff in the Ready Player 2 event, linked in the description is a guide on how to get all 7 relics. But I'll see you all in the next video.